The Bulls have 3 seconds to try a shot and try to win the game.
This is the Notebook Wagering Podcast.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Coming to you from the betting deck.
Don't believe what I just saw.
Here are your hosts.
Diggs! Sideline! Touchdown! Unbelievable!
What is up? Full crew in the house tonight. It's been a few shows without the four-man crew here. I got Smitty sitting alongside of me here at the Salisbury Center, fueled by Monster Energy. What's going on, Smitty?
What's going on, guys? It's good to see everybody. The boys are back in town tonight, and I'm excited, man. After last week, we crushed. I can't wait to dive in Major League Baseball because, man,
we murdered it.
Oh, my goodness. Let's dive after it. Jason, what's going on, buddy?
How's the studio temperature? You guys gonna be okay tonight? We're always concerned about whether you
give us 10 minutes. We did have a fan pregame here blowing, so we do have nice cool air, but we're just gonna get sucked up real quick with this fire energy we have tonight.
Getting a little warm up here, a little sticky up in the Berg here as we get through baseball season. Struggling through the Pirates, who are still hanging around, but not looking great. But hanging around. Maddie, what are you doing on the other side of Pittsburgh?
The energy on this side is not so good. I am burned out, day 9 straight of work.
He's on short rest
right now, but I fired it off and said, "Hey, I'm going to get something to eat." And said, "I'm going to do this. I want to talk some golf. I want to talk some baseball and catch up. Let's get into it. Distract my mind, please."
Therapy session for Matty Nails.
Yeah.
All right, let's get right into it. Matt, last show we actually started with baseball first since we were giving out some plays so people could get them in. There are a few games that have not started yet. The first one, I do have a play. It's the Royals Twins. I have the Twins in a parlay with the Braves. I'm sorry. Yes, Twins in the Braves. You could still probably play the Dodgers Twins and get close to even money.
Whoa, slow down, my friend.
I like it.
Pirates coming off a big win. Okay.
It happens.
Okay, we got 5 minutes for this. Okay.
I mean, it's auto fade. The Royals, I believe Greinke was supposed to pitch. They were putting out a line, then they went to Alec Marsh. So I don't know exactly. Did he get hurt? I didn't catch that story today. But I like Pablo Lopez. He pitched really well in Miami when he was there. I like him there in Minnesota. Minnesota's at home. They're not the greatest hitting and scoring team, but neither is Kansas City. I think it's a good spot and a good parlay spot for them.
Yeah, really quick with this. Lopez, I do like Lopez, 4-5, 4.24 ERA. Lopez does have a high ERA at home. Marsh, 0-1, 11.25 ERA, and he had a really bad start against the Dodgers, which a lot of people do when they play the Dodgers. I don't have a play on this tonight. I mean, it's minus 290 on Scores and Odds. I'm a little shocked, and maybe the guys can jump in here. If I would do anything with this tonight, and my advice, I would maybe play the over. It's 8. Lopez, again, 5.94 ERA at home. Kansas City's not a very good team. They give up a lot of runs. Bullpen's not very good. I'd probably play the over. I know the Twins at times don't score, but I'd probably do an overplay on this.
Think that wouldn't be the worst. Lopez has actually been pretty good last month. That's one thing, a little sheet here we pulled together. 2.43 FIP over his last 36 innings. That's pretty solid. And Alex Marsh, like you said, is a great reliever. I think we talked about that last show, but this opener role does not seem to suit him at all.
I agree.
He's got 11 Ks per 9, but 9 walks per 9. So he's all over the place to start the game and get him off to a bad start. So I like the Twins, but man, I don't trust that offense enough to lay a run and a half. So I passed on this one.
Nails? Pass.
I got a game at 8-10, but I can't touch this one.
Yeah, I have no play. I mean, if you want to play it, I'd do the over, but it's a pass for me too.
Yeah,
all right,
pretty low over.
Another game. I have a player prop.
That's kind of shocking.
I have a player prop in the Cubs Brewers games. I like Steele, the pitcher for the Cubs, over 5.5 Ks. He's hit this number the last 2 games. I believe 8 Ks. 2 starts ago, last start, 6 Ks. I mean, we've seen it all season. The Brewers are terrible at left-handed pitch hitting. Steele's a left-hander. I think we hammer that play. I think it's a lock.
Yeah, this is no play for me. I mean, this two good arms. I mean, Hauser's pretty good, 3-2, 3.88, Steele 9-2, 2.43. I think there's better action on the board tonight. So
Well, that's why I went with player prop.
yeah, I like that. I mean, nothing wrong with that.
I don't trust the Cubs on the road.
I don't trust the Cubs on the road either. So that's why I took the Brewers plus the 110. I thought that was a nice number.
I do too. Even though they're bad with left-handed pitching, he's not going to pitch the whole game.
I'd like that too, Jason. I'd go with you on that play.
Wow, this is perfect. I'm perfect oppo.
You like the Cubs?
Cubs minus 140, Nerfy minus 124. So, but I do want to touch on your thing about Justin Steele Q. So I don't know if you guys know this. Best pitcher against barreled up balls in baseball, Justin Steele.
I did not know that.
Yep. And number 2, Smitty, your guy, Money Mitch Keller.
Mitch Keller.
Number 2, all of baseball. So, yeah, I'm riding the Cubs tonight. Brewers are scuffling. Yelich still can't get right. Brian Anderson, who was hot there for a while for them, no good. I like the Cubs play tonight. So I'm going to go oppo, you guys. Give me the Nerfy. And Q, I might even ride with your Justin Steele prop.
He's hit the last 2. He should have had it the his third start, and they pulled him.
You did well last week. What, 1-1 last week? I think on your pitcher props, I think.
1-1 or 2-1.
You got the Giolito one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got robbed of the other one. I do know that. I pulled him out in the last inning.
I know. It was. I went 4-0. I think Jason was 3 or 4-0, and I think you were 2-1 or 3-1 or something.
I know who it was. It was that pitcher for the A's. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
That was the great thing was that was my best.
That was when they threw the perfect game
last week. Yeah.
So they're in the 5th.
I had the Yankees, my best bet of the night. Yeah, perfect game. Life would be so much easier if that always worked like that.
I had 4 Ks. I needed one more in the 5th. And he just falls apart. It's like he didn't know how to pitch. He gave up 5 earned runs. I was sitting there watching it game, on my phone because it wasn't live, and that's the worst because you're just sitting there in the suspense, waiting for it to refresh with something else is absolutely worse. And I just kept seeing runs score, so that was miserable. But I did pretty well.
That's hard to do when the Yankees don't score very much.
I know.
Also, boys, just one other quick thing. The Cubs really actually travel well up to Milwaukee. It's not a big drive, and maybe with the holiday, they might get a good fan base up there tonight, too.
Stop trying to talk me into that play, Matt.
I'm just saying.
Stop talking me. You know what?
Let's fire.
I'm firing it. Cubs.
All
right, let me get this in. Smitty, what other games you got?
All right, we're going to go next game. Toronto's heading to Chicago. Here's the thing with this. It does not look, and I got some information here, but I did see, I'd like to give the guy credit. He does a nice job with the conditions in Major League Baseball on Twitter. Does not look good. It looks like some storms are coming in. I do not know if they're going to get this game off. I did play Toronto today, and I'd have to look at the number I got this morning. Reason why I'm going to go, let me zip through this real quick. I did get Toronto minus 115 money line. I'm not sure where it is right now. Lance Lynn's just tough to back. I mean, he really is. He's 5-8, 6.47 ERA. Then with Lance Lynn, 2-4, 7.22 ERA at home. Last 5 starts here. 5 runs, 4, 3, 3, 5. Now, the first 3 was against Seattle, which was remarkable. He had 16 strikeouts in that game. But the guy just gives up a lot of home. Last game, he gave up 3 home runs. I like Toronto tonight in this game. I do not know if this game's going to get in. The radar did not look good.
I want to go back real quick before we continue with that game. I have the under. Well, it's either under 0.5 runs, depending if you're betting DraftKings, or no run first inning. I have that play for the Cubs. Brewers. Sorry, I blanked out there. I like Steele, like you said. Hauser is a decent pitcher. I think we can get out of the first inning with no runs.
I actually took the White Sox. I actually, just looking at the numbers, Blue Jays, for some reason, I don't know what happened to the bats, but they've gone cold. And gambling a halo here at Lance Lynn because he definitely has stunk this year.
I can't touch this one. I really like Berrios. He's pitching well.
He has
Lynn
done.
Is a mess.
He's got a lot better. Yeah.
He's been actually excellent for about a month and a half. If you really dig into it, Smitty, I just checked the weather too. It says 90% chance of rain and hail. But if that holds out, the wind is gusting out there. So, I mean, hey, maybe dig into it. If you're taking a whooping, maybe look the over.
I know that guy on Twitter said the best thing for them to do is play a doubleheader tomorrow. So I don't think I don't think the confidence level's very high on that game's going to get in by his.
I think that guy's just blowing smoke.
Expertise, but we'll have to see.
All right. Any other? I've already mentioned I have the Dodgers in that parlay with the. Mic went out. Am I back? Yep, I'm back. Do you guys have any plays on the Mets game, the Mariners game, or the Angels games, or the Pirates games?
I have two more, so I'll go quick. I know it's a big number. I have the Padres juice tonight.
Yeah.
With all the Angels news, it's just bad. I grabbed it while I was at the gym at minus 170. Just threw a little fun money on it. It's not going to pay anything, but I mean, God, the Angels are in disarray. Rendon, Trout, Ohtani. I know you guys want to bring that up. And then Q, I'll piggyback off your Pirates Dodgers. I have a player prop on that one. Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases, minus 120.
I like that.
Yeah, let me jump in here. I do have the Giants tonight. Alex Cobb, 5-2, 3.12 ERA, 3-1, 1.43 at home against Tommy Malone. Man, I haven't heard that name for a long time. So I'm going to take a chance. I did lay a little bit this morning. I did minus 160 with the Giants. I just think they're going to win. I'll tell you, the Pirates, I do have a play in that game tonight. I did take the team run over with the Pirates tonight. I got it at over 3.5. If you look at their last 8 games, they're 6-2 hitting that. The game last night was very high scoring. I think this game tonight could be high scoring. I think the Dodgers are going to score. But, if the Pirates throw a good lineup out, and that's hard because Sheldon's sometimes not the smartest cookie. So, if Kutch plays a day and then he's off for 6 and then he comes back, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but Davis has to get in there. Nick Gonzalez has to get in there. If they have that, I think they can score because I think they used a lot of arms yesterday too in that game last night. That was a nice wake up when I woke up and the Pirates, I saw they won, so that's always nice.
A little gift.
Somebody wrote me and said they had a nice ticket on that, and so that was the first thing I read. It's like some people drink orange juice and people write me and they have Pirate ticket winners. So so it was good. But I do like that number. Let me see really quick on my card. I'm with Matt. I do have the Padres. Now, what I did with that, I took the Astros this afternoon, and I did a money line parlay, Astros and Padres plus 131. Matt, I was right with you on that. Looking at Lugo for the Padres, not the greatest ERA, close to 5 at home, but the last 3 starts have been okay. That team's in trouble, I think. Like you said, I mean, we can dive into it here with some talk on if they should trade some people here, but Trout's out now, I think 6 to 8 weeks. Rendon was out on crutches the other day. Tawny, I think, has a blister. So, when does he come back and pitch? Now, he could be in the lineup, but maybe he'll take a night off. So I took a chance with the Padres. And the Padres as a team, when are they going to just finally wake up?
I don't think they will. I think there's too much talent. They're just not playing well together. I think sometimes when you have too much talent, there's too much expectations there. But they don't play team ball. They're kind of just it's like an all-star team that just kind of shows up to the park. Their pitching staff's not going to wow you. I don't see it.
Good segue, though. Amal Shaw on VSiN said it perfect tonight. Even though you guys just summed up the Padres how you just did, it's like the team you can't quit because of all the talent.
That's fair.
And you don't know when to jump off this train that's actually on fire. But if you look at their futures, I think they're plus 5,500 to win it all or maybe get to the series. That's a huge number to throw a little bit of money on.
Yeah.
For all that. And they're not far out of the wild card. So
there's no reason why they can't get there on paper.
Yeah, they're not going to win the division. Let's put it that way.
Correct.
The only shot they have is a wild card, and they can make that because the Central is getting one team in.
Yeah.
And then it's going to come down to the East, where Atlanta's going to cruise into the playoffs.
The Mets are struggling.
The Marlins and I think the Phillies.
And the Phillies, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, if you watch them though, their body language is awful. Like they do not look like a team that's going to make a run. When they were here against the Pirates, I think they got swept. You know, those games were close, and then a couple of plays went against them. Like they got some bad breaks in that series, and they just folded up completely whenever that happened. I mean, they're like you said, they're way too good to get swept by the Pirates at this time of year.
And Jason, I just want to jump in real quick, and then you can take over again. They had the Nats right before. I mean, that was a great spot for them. And
Nats took what, 2 or 3?
2 or 3, I believe, and then I think the Pirates did sweep them. So I mean, that was a great spot for them to get some wins there, and that just hasn't happened. I agree with Jason. I think the body language, and I think Q, what you said too. I think you see that sometimes in sports is when you bring all this talent together and you're like, oh, we're going to cakewalk. It just doesn't happen. It's a group of guys that. You know, I think you saw it with the Reds. The Reds brought up some younger guys and they energized a little bit. I'm going to say that with the Pirates.
But I also think they have good leadership in Cincinnati with Joey Votto.
Well, yeah.
Who's the leader in San Diego?
Votto wasn't there when some of the young guys came up.
No, but he's there. He's a presence.
Well, yeah. But I think that's adding on. And now I think with the Pirates too. I think Davis. I mean, there was a clip.
But you have a leader.
When they were down in Miami, he walked and started screaming at the dugout. Well, I mean, that's a rookie doing it. That's energy. You need that on a team. Now, Gonzalez, I'm not saying the Pirates are going to win 10 in a row. I'm not.
No, but I think they're in an upward trend because they have a leader. Look who it is. It's Kutch.
Well, yeah.
He's a presence. He may not be.
And I think Santana, too. I mean, I think that's really two good guys.
But then when you compare that to San Diego, who do they have? Like, who is Tatis?
No. I was going to say the same thing.
Machado, no. Yeah.
The Padres have no go-go guy.
No.
They have no Robert guy. Like Machado, you think would be it, but he's not.
He's not. He wasn't even in Baltimore.
Here's the thing I think you can bank on with the Padres. Their next 3 series, if they can take 3 games against Colorado, okay. But then they have 2 against Arizona and 4 against the Braves. If they come out of that stretch with a losing record, you can write them off. I think that's done. Or no, I'm sorry. No, I was looking way, way back. Sorry. Toronto, Detroit, Pittsburgh. 3 actually winnable series. I think if they get through that with a somewhat decent record, then they go into Texas, and I mean that's
tough.
Trouble. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I just don't see the leadership.
I'm not gonna quit the Padres yet.
Maybe many guys are paid on that team. Yeah. Soto's the only guy who hasn't gotten his money yet. Everybody else has. They're just collecting.
Well, what was Soto doing in the media the other day about facing Ohtani? He was running his mouth.
I missed that.
And I mean, Soto, to me, just since he's left the DC area here, I mean, I think he's an okay player. I'm not blown away what he's done out in San Diego.
No, I agree.
I'm curious why.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what they said on one show?
I know he didn't want to leave DC.
They said they get out there and life is just
a party
because it's the weather's great, the atmosphere is great, and they just get relaxed and it's like they just kind of coast.
I can see that.
I don't know.
I mean, San Diego nightlife, some of the best nightlife in the country. But he didn't, specifically Soto, he didn't want to leave DC. I mean, that was DC being stubborn, not overpaying him, or smart, as we're seeing now. Like, does that weigh into it too? Like, he's in a place where he necessarily didn't sign up to be?
What's his contract out there? How long is he out there?
That's one more year, $23 million.
One more
year.
Okay.
And he's a free agent. So then he'll get to pick where he wants to go. Like, is this just rented time for him? Like, he's just there to pass time?
Until the next big deal, yeah. But, I mean, he has put up also a 3.4 WAR, and he's got 15 homers and 50 RBIs. Like, the numbers are there. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's
funny. I'm looking at their good big bats, and all the guys are having pretty much good seasons, so there's no reason for them to be upset, right? They're making their numbers. They makes it worse.
I don't think we touched on this. Nelson Cruz just got released.
Yeah, he just
I saw that.
Paid.
Yeah, his career's done.
Been the clubhouse leader.
Could have been. You would think. Veteran guy. I mean, to come in like that. So, well, so let's dive into this real quick because I wrote a couple real quick things.
Any more plays?
Now,
and then we'll. All right. So we don't have. Do you guys have any more?
The Padres minus 1.5 plus 120. Like I said, the Angels are in bad shape here. The three big guns are all out.
Yeah.
And like, who else for that team can carry them?
Yeah.
The only one I haven't played it. I would keep an eye on Arizona tonight, 940. I think I saw a thing today. The Mets don't do very well against left-hand pitching. Henry is 5-1, 4.08, 3.50 ERA at home. I don't know. Arizona could be a play tonight if you want to jump.
I haven't been hot on that one too, Smitty. Like I looked at it. Tommy Henry is a little bit makes you a little nervous, but he has been better at home. And, the D-backs are tough at home. And
I haven't played it, but I mean, if you want some action and we try to give out plays, I would keep an eye on Arizona tonight. So, real quick, back to the San Diego thing. We talked about the Angels. Where do you think? I mean, the Angels have to trade Ohtani here soon, don't you think? If this collapses fast. So you guys are saying no. Wow. Okay.
I thought they would, but I don't think. I think they're just better off keeping him. I don't think they're really going to have to pay whatever he thinks they're going to have to pay. Like, there's a story came out that he makes $40 million a year off the field.
Does he really want to win?
In the U.S. and Japan, he's got money. The Angels let him do whatever he wants to do. Like, there's if you go to another team,
so you guys
he might be sitting more.
So you're saying you think he's going to re-sign there?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he is.
Okay. Wow.
Well, I think I'm sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
I totally agree. There's no way they can let him walk. Trout, is locked in for 10 years. Sure, he's still awesome, super good, but he needs a compliment. What they need to do is they're another team. They're like the Phillies. They're missing the boat. Go get pitching, and they won't do it.
They won't. Yeah, they go and get Syndergaard, who is terrible, can't pitch. That was their big pitching signing of the last couple years. Outside of Ohtani.
If the GM doesn't sign Ohtani, they might as well fire him. Get out of there.
They got to get out of that Rendon deal. That's a bad deal.
So
they can now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just go walking this morning, maybe yesterday. I think it was Follow the Money or one of the shows. Maybe it was Gil Alexander. Jason, what's that show called?
Being the Book.
Being the Book. Thank you. They were saying it's a no-brainer. They got to trade him. Because they said they screwed up. They should have traded Trout because they said, if you look at this Angels team, and I agree with what you guys are saying is the pitching. They have not hit on any pitching, but they have not made the playoffs. I think they said since 2013 or 2014. And then they got in and they got swept or they lost first round to Kansas City. They said, you got to get people back in this. So that's why I was shocked when you guys said you think he's gonna stay. So okay,
I think what makes it hard to trade him is he's not just a power hitter; he's your starter too. So you're trading two players.
That team's never gonna be anything. I'll say.
Well, I think it's just bad GM.
But they need to figure it out because they either need to spend a lot more or develop their farm system, and they've done neither. Like you know what I mean? Like they need to spend like the Mets with this team because they have two of the two highest paid guys. So you got to build around that. And that's uncomfortable, but you're in LA, you got a pretty big stadium. Like you have a following that you built out in Anaheim. Like it's different than the Dodger following. You're fine, right? Like you got to spend a lot more because whenever Trout's done, you can go make that money back then. But you can't do this half and half thing. You can't have two good guys, the stars and scrubs thing that works in fantasy. They've been trying to debt for now, like you said, since 2013. It has not worked.
You're trying to stretch money.
A lot more money.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just.
Well, I don't think anybody wants to play there either, because you look at they can't attract anybody. If you're going to go to California, you're going to go to San Francisco, or you're going to go to the Dodgers potentially if you want to win, because they have track records, good cities. San Diego, the young kids, it seems like that's the vibe, I think. What's the attraction to Anaheim? Losing?
I don't know. I drove by the stadium once.
I mean, seriously, it's kind of in a dump. Like Anaheim's not the greatest.
It's right
area.
by the highway, if I remember correctly. I mean, you just drive by and it's like right there. You just drive by it. It's kind of.
They can't sign pitchers because nobody wants to go there.
So okay, let me ask this. Okay, let's go real quick, Maddie. I'll start with you here. Let's say he does get traded. Where do you think he goes? What team?
It's going to be a big market.
I could see Atlanta.
No.
I could see it.
They said Atlanta on a show.
I could see
They
it.
said Atlanta on a show.
Because I think they know how valuable he is.
And they can give you assets too.
It's
Right.
dumb to say. To me, it's the Yankees. So
I don't think he'll
he
go
wants
to the
part of
Yankees.
Well, they did say, I'm just going off a show the other day.
Yeah.
Walking. They did have the Yankees. They did have Atlanta. They did have Atlanta too.
Because he's come out and openly said he doesn't want to play in a big market. Now, I understand Atlanta's a big market, but it's not a big media market like the Mets.
And they said what Jason just said.
The Yankees.
Because they said Atlanta has the talent.
Oh,
They
yeah.
can go get them, and they know like that would get them probably to win the World Series.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They're already.
Yeah,
But and again, they're getting two players
they
out
might
of
not
one.
need anybody. Okay,
Yeah.
Jason. Okay, go ahead. Who do you think?
The team who should do it that would never do it is the Tampa Bay Rays.
I thought he was going
Yeah.
to say the Pittsburgh Pirates. Just-
No, but the same thing. The Rays have way more assets than the Pirates do.
yeah.
You know another
And
team?
They've got all these guys built up, right? And
Yeah.
the one thing they have lacked every time they get to the postseason is a star.
Yeah.
And like this guy,
They said
I mean,
They said Tampa too on the show. Yep.
that's what I'm saying. You give them that bat that they need desperately. You put them in the rotation however you want to. You know, they're as good as anybody at managing innings. Like I said, it would make a ton. They would never do it. But
There's another team over here.
It would actually bring people into that ballpark.
You know what? Real quick. You know what team? Another team. I'm trying to remember. One of the teams was Seattle.
Yeah, well, that's where he's going to end up if
Yeah.
he doesn't end up in LA.
You know who has the
And the Dodgers. Like
They have the
everyone-
money.
Like everyone said.
now the sale of the team is going to matter, but would he not fit perfectly in DC?
No, I don't think he
I think
to
he would.
DC. Why do you want to come to DC, dude? They're
It's
gonna
not a
win
major
for years.
baseball market.
But you're never winning for years.
That's not true. They just won a World Series in 19.
Yeah, but they're not winning anytime soon, dude. With who?
Well, if you get him and you get new ownership, then now they're saying the team could be sold to Ted Leonsis because now they've essentially taken Middle Eastern money. They're creating a whole monumental sports thing. So he's trying to buy all the teams. That guy is not afraid to spend money.
Well, then.
So then what he does is he's got all this good farm system talent, like James Wood, Robert Hassel, a couple other guys.
They're mediocre.
They go do what they did at 19. They trade away all these guys. They get, and then they go
and
win
that
a
can
World
happen.
Series.
You can change.
Yeah,
you can
absolutely.
I'm not disagreeing. You can change things.
he-
Dude,
really,
could you
really
imagine
quick.
that Mackenzie Gore, Otani, Josiah Gray as your starters?
Well, I'm going to rip Gore here in about a minute. So
Yeah, but he's
I
got.
agree
He's
with you,
got.
though. It would make a lot of sense for the Nationals.
It
because
absolutely would.
That's a market, too, that also needs a star. To start
Yes.
getting people to the
But it's
ballpark.
not too big of a market.
and they might do it here by Sunday. They might get a star. They might get a star.
Yeah.
They're probably going to get a
Something
star.
real quick. Hey, let's do something real quick. All three. Give me a number 1 to 10.
Just right now?
Yeah.
7.
8.
4.
Smitty, you're first. I'll go last, just out of principle. Random draft. Where's Otani going? Let's lock it in.
Okay.
What
The
was
number was 4. Smitty, you're first.
So what?
So you pick what team you think he's
Oh,
going
what
to.
team?
go-
What team? Actually, man,
Not including the Angels?
I'm gonna go.
No,
see,
you can say the Angels.
You can
Okay.
say the Angels.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a team that we did not say. I'm gonna say San Francisco
Good choice.
because they
I
were
actually
after
like that.
Judge. They were after
Yeah.
Judge
Yeah.
last year and they missed.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go
I
San
like that.
Francisco.
They were
Like
so
the
close to
Nationals,
landing him,
they
too.
get
Oh, I thought they did. Yeah.
Hugh, you're next.
I would say Atlanta.
Okay.
I can see that.
Jason?
I'm going to steal your thunder, Matty, but I think he's going back to Anaheim.
Which is great. I haven't heard that take on any show. I love it. That's great.
I'm going to go completely oppo then. I'm going to take a shot in the dark, and I'm going to say the Boston Red Sox.
Wow.
They spend money.
Boston?
I'm
Yeah, I
not,
think that's
I don't know, man. That's a hard place to play.
I like it.
That's
I
a
like
hard
it.
place to play.
I like it though.
Now, the short porch did help David Ortiz, and it would help Otani. He'd hit 100 a year. I think he'd hit one in every game
I like it.
on that short right
What about
field.
the you know what team we had left out would be the Cardinals,
I don't think
I don't know if they
they're
can
not going to
afford 'em.
spend the money. Yeah,
but they have a lot of money coming off the books here with
True.
Bullshit.
True.
They also have a ton of prospects.
And so I mean they could You know,
A hell of a
I'm in the minor
lineup.
leagues.
Goldschmidt, Arenado, and Ohtani. Be a hell of a lineup.
Yeah, what's that guy, Jordan Walker?
Yeah.
Throw him in,
Hey,
a couple other
yeah.
people.
I think he'd have to go the other way though in that trade. Don't you think?
Somebody
I
would
think
have
Walker
to
would
go.
be a piece of that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
Walker would have to be in that deal.
Yeah.
Would have to be in that deal.
Might have to throw in Nolan Gorman too.
Potentially.
They're too bad.
yeah.
Have to throw in, they're too bad.
Well, it's funny because I guess Gorman will probably play first whenever Goldschmidt gets moved. Don't you think? Because he can't play second.
Yeah, I would
That's one thing.
agree.
He got screwed over by the rules. Like he was a perfect Neil Walker second baseman shift guy until they changed the rules. Now he has to play second. He can't do that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, that
All
was
right,
quick.
closing thoughts before we go to break.
Yeah, I think real quick. I mean, we have to hit on it because our two, well, not Maddie's team, but your team, MLB draft Sunday night. Where
Well, why don't we do a break and we'll come back?
we'll come back and do it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good.
This
Yeah, Maddie,
is your wallet. It tells a story. Who you are, what you keep close, what you love. But it also tells how important are your finances, how you look after your money. But what if your wallet was crafted differently? It would consist of a protective case that will keep your cards fastened and your banknotes joined under a cash strap. Its slim design would help you hide it in the most challenging situations. All your cards would be easy to reach and kept compact inside the case. Ridge Wallet helps you keep control of your belongings. Choose protection in a modern design. From Ridge Wallet.
They say fortune is fickle. Wrong. I just know what I like! And it ain't settling for 3. Because life's a gamble. Name is guaranteed. Gamble. Evil. Gunning it for glory. Gamble. Love. Gamble. So let's make it interesting. I put $1 million in up to 5 DraftKings Sportsbook accounts.
Lay it all on tonight's game or kiss it goodbye.
Hello, Fortune.
Ms. Gray, change my 10 o'clock meeting to 2 and then take the 12 and move it to 4 and then move it to 12.
Mr. Summers, why the big schedule shuffle?
I have to take my car to the dealer for an oil change, and I'll be there half the
Why
day.
don't you go to Jiffy Lube?
And void my warranty? Have you gone mad, Ms. Gray?
Sir, Jiffy Lube does the certified preventative maintenance your car manufacturer recommends. They also change your oil, the filter, top off all the fluids, and a whole lot more. And it'll only take about 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Ms. Gray, leave my schedule the way it was and bring me a latte on your way back.
Me and my big mouth.
What was that?
Be happy to, sir.
For oil changes and preventative maintenance, nobody takes care of your car like Jiffy Lube. Visit any Nassau, Suffolk Jiffy Lube and get $7 off our signature service oil change. Jiffy Lube. We love your car, too.
Jiffy Lube can do it today!
Now back to putting money in your pocket with the Notebook Wagering Show on WSN.
All right, the boys are back. We're just going to finish up the MLB talk. I know Smitty had one last kind of MLB draft this Sunday. A lot of the shows are going to start coming out Friday and Saturday. So why don't you take it away, and then we'll move topics.
No, I just wanted to hear everyone's opinion on it because, again, you got 3 that you got Cruz, Skeens, and then you have Langford.
Yep.
1, 2, 3 in the draft, it looks like. Now, you do have 2 high school kids. You got Jenkins, I think, out of South Carolina, and you have Clark, I think, out of Indiana. Yep. I could be wrong on that. Okay. Yep. And again, reading about the 2 high school kids,
they're good.
It sounds very talented kids. I'm not taking anything away from it. As a Pirate fan, I've been saying this. I think everybody was just said it was going to be Cruz. And I was one that, and I know I got Mr. Florida Gator next to me here, and Q can, Q will back me on this. I said Langford, I really like him too. Yeah. I have no problem with the bat. If you're going to go the bat, Now, there's information that Cruz doesn't want to play in Pittsburgh, doesn't want to get drafted by the Pirates, and there was like now you've read some people and they said, listen, if the Pirates offer him $9-something million, he's signing. So a lot of this could be smoke screens going into this, everything. Then there were some talks with Clark. The Pirates are going to do a typical Pirate move here and go Clark. I think their next pick is 42, and then they have another one.
Right.
Okay, another one then. And I just wanted to hear where everyone thinks what they're going to do here, what I would do. Jason, you're a Pirate fan, so let's jump to you first real quick. What do you think the Pirates are going to do Sunday?
You know what? All the smoke with them is actually kind of like the Steelers. We always make fun of them because we know they're picked before they make it. But the Pirates have been similar. Like, we heard the Henry Davis smoke. Everybody was kind of like, really? And then, he got taken. Nick Gonzalez was kind of similar. I really think it's going to be Clark to get out of Indiana because that's what, is being leaked. I don't know if it's the right move. But it also works well with their philosophy. They don't like to spend a lot on the first-round pick. Like, that was a smart move by Cruz if he doesn't want to play in Pittsburgh to say, hey, I want 10, which is not a line as a first-round pick. But he also knows you just blew their Pirates draft budget, and that's not how they work. They like to overpay on the early, those like 4th through 6th round picks to get guys they probably couldn't get. I don't know. I wish I had more faith in this scouting department so that I could just trust that they're taking the right guy. I think that's what plays into this, too, is we've seen too much history with the guys. We're sitting at right now where they can't evaluate their own talent. Like, Nick Gonzalez came up, I totally wrote him off, and that guy has talent coming out of his ears. Like, he's like, him and Davis are comparable. Like, the ball jumps off his bat, he's fast as heck. It's like, how is this your 20th best prospect? How is he sitting still in Indianapolis when you've got Rodolfo Castro and Ji-Hwan Bae out there who just clearly are quad A guys? So it's rough. I don't know. I just hope they make the right pick. I have no faith in them, and like I said, I have no faith in that they're building a good organization. All these trades have not panned out well. The drafts have gone better, but this is brutal. I feel like whatever they do is going to work out wrong. What do you think?
I'm going to go last. I'll go last. So, Maddie, let's go to you next.
All right, I'll play this a little differently. Who should they take? The pitcher,
Skeens, yeah.
From LA. Not only that, if he's that amazing of an athlete, he actually said today, he goes, I want to be like Ohtani. Now, I don't know if he can. I don't know enough about his hitting, but that's an intriguing proposition to actually add to the mix.
He didn't hit terrible at Air. He batted for Air Force. I mean, he was solid. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but he wasn't elite hitting. But he's solid.
Who do I think that's who I think they should take. Who does, like everybody else, think they should take? I think it's going to be the kid, the high school kid from Indiana. I think that's who they're going to take. I totally agree with Jason that the whole thing where there's smoke, there's fire. And it sucks because I don't know, going back to Brian Bullington, is that his name, the pitcher?
Mm-hmm.
Screwed them over.
Yep.
So if they take Cruz first and he doesn't play, do they get an additional draft pick next year? Is that how it works?
It would work that way, yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean,
but it's at the end of the draft, though. It's at the end of the round.
Is it?
No. It's
it'd be in the middle because that happened.
Oh, I thought it was at the end.
That happened to them That happened to them a couple years ago, and they drafted Mark Appel out of USC or Stanford. Stanford, and he didn't sign with the Pirates.
Yeah,
and then I think they
also kind of knew that though. Like they kind of knew he wouldn't, and they actually liked the next draft better. So I'll give him credit on that one.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Hey, good job, Pirates.
That was my point, though. Is next year's draft better than this one?
That's going to be tough.
So.
Yeah, this class seems very stacked, especially up at the front.
If that's what happens, though, with Cruz, that's the whole scenario we're just going to see. That's going to stink, and it stinks for the whole city.
Wait, can I just follow up on that? To follow up, the next year they did have 2 first-round picks. The picks ended up being Austin Meadows and Reese McGuire. Both of those guys are starting in the Major League Baseball. They've never played for the Pittsburgh Pirates at the Major League level. Well,
Meadows did.
Yeah, he did for a cup of tea.
But
Meadows was in a really bad deal with.
Yeah, so we don't need to talk about.
We got who do we get? What was that? I forgot his name.
Chris Archer.
Chris.
Hey,
you guys are making that run.
And Chris Archer was
That
talented.
Yeah.
And then came, but
And
I mean,
he just
you got
fell off the track.
Sean Baez, I believe, was in that.
Shane Baez.
Shane Baez. Yeah, okay. I think he blew his arm out, glass now, which he's had arm issues too.
Yeah.
And Austin Meadows, I think, has dealt with some injuries and even anxieties and stuff. And then I think he was on the Tiger. He's bounced around a little bit. So then I'll say this, and we can be done. Q, I don't know if you have. I mean, you can say where you want to go with your Nats really fast.
Oh, I was just going to answer your question with the Pirates.
Okay, go for it.
I think the smart play, like Nail said, is Skeens. I've said it on Twitter. Skeens could get drafted in July and be a September call-up. He's that good.
I mean, that will happen with Pittsburgh, but
I think any team in Major League Baseball, he could be a 5-starter. I mean, the kid's just so polished. He hasn't pitched many innings, which is a plus. Now, he hasn't had Tommy John, and sometimes they actually like him to have Tommy John outside of coming up. It's just kind of team dependent, but the guy is better. Mitch Keller is probably the only guy that you could even argue on the pitching staff for the Pirates he's not better than.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be the fastest call-up since Albert Pujols. I think Albert Pujols did it in one season. But
they got a couple young arms. Priester in AAA has some pretty good outings. The kid in AA, Anthony, I'm going to forget his last name.
They're not as good as Paul Skeens.
No, but he's 19. He's 19, 20 years old. I mean, he's really rocking. He's really surprising with the Pirates coming through the system out of high school, doing really well. I mean, he has like a 2-something ERA in Altoona, like a 19-year-old kid, 20-year-old kid that got drafted. Jared Jones is another really good arm with the Pirates. They do have some arms. Okay, so this is where I'm going to go. I don't think it's going to be Cruz at all.
Can I give it? Go ahead.
It's not Cruz. It won't be Cruz.
No, I agree.
I think, again, I'd be very happy if it's Langford. And I know some Pirate people already on Twitter are like, oh, it better not be him. Well, then you didn't watch college baseball at all.
He has.
Then you're a fool.
Similar talents.
Yes.
Higher upside.
And I've read that, and I've even told Dr. Brennan and a bunch of people that if you read, there is higher upside with this kid than Cruz.
Can I give a bold take on that?
Yeah, go for it.
I think Cruz has peaked.
Yeah, you've said that to me a lot. I mean, we'll have to see.
I'm not taking anything against him.
Yeah.
I think he will be a major league starter. I think he will be consistent, but I don't think he's elite at the major league level. He's peaked.
This is such a hard, this is the draft. It's never guaranteed. This is one sport that I don't think it's ever guaranteed to say this guy's going to be a sure superstar. You know, you look at Strasburg and I mean, again, a great talent. Did you ever think he was going to have a nerve condition?
No.
It just never, and you don't take things for granted. So where would I go? I'm going with Matt, and I think this will be the pick.
Yeah, I think Matt hit it on the head.
I think Skeens is the pick. I think it's a lot of smoke.
He said he thinks that's who they should pick, but he said he thinks they take Max Clark.
I'm going Skeens.
See, I think it's going to be what Neil said.
I've read a couple things. They said
because they're going to get him under slot value.
A lot of people lately have said they have heard less on Max Clark. So I think it's smoke.
I think they're dumb if they don't take Skeens.
I think it's Skeens. I think Skeens will be the pick because I heard he's anywhere from $8 to maybe $9 million, and they'd be fine paying that with the number one pick.
He will be on the opening day roster next year. For sure.
Not with the Pirates. He'll probably be in Brady.
They'll trade him like Garrett Cole, and then he'll go win 2 World Series.
They just take forever.
It's a fair concern if you were one of those guys. Because both Cruz and Skeens are mature guys. There's no reason for them to go play at A+.
I agree.
They should be at least AA or up, and they should show they can hit that pitching and kind of be on a fast.
I mean, they should be on the Bryce Harper, Albert Pujols trajectory.
Davis.
Yeah, there's no reason to go throw them against
even
guys.
Langford.
Listen, yes. Davis should have been started when they drafted Davis, and we're going to get off this thing because I could rant for 20 minutes about.
Well, we'll just cut off the last segment. We can cover it next week.
We can do. We can do. Okay, we'll do golf.
Yeah.
But my thing with Davis should have been right away. Davis was playing for Louisville when they were number one in the country, playing in the ACC. There's no doubt that's AA.
100%.
If you play at that level or the SEC, that's AA.
Absolutely.
It should be a started AA, and I get because their facility is down in Bradenton that they could maybe look at something, but that should be quick. Now, Johnson's, their kid they drafted last year is a high school kid. He's playing at Bradenton. I can see because he's 18, 19
Well, that's different.
That's different.
Correct.
These guys should be it should be, and I've said this to multiple people, this pick has to be Cruz, Skeens, or Langford. If it's not, it's ridiculous.
I mean, SEC ball, ACC ball, and some Big 12 ball is minor league baseball. It just is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those guys,
absolutely.
You take away the metal bat, they're still going to hit home runs. They're going to hit 115 mile an hour, balls. They're going to throw, the pitching's the same. Like, it's minor league baseball for 3 to 4 years. So, like you guys brought it up, and then this will be my closing segment. The Pirates, if they don't take one of those three, I think it's a bust of a draft. I'm not taking away from Max Clark. He might be the guy.
Well, he
might
be.
But that's going to be in 5 years.
Well,
you have talent now that you could complement.
They do have talent now.
And make a run. In 2 to 3.
Absolutely agree.
Those guys, those 3 names could be on the starting lineup or at least off the bench next season opening day.
My last thing I'll say, Pirate fans, if Langford gets drafted,
I love it. It might be the first Pirates jersey I ever draft.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't either.
But I don't want to hear that was a bust. Don't want to hear it's a bust. Because then again, you didn't watch college baseball.
All I know is the Nats are just sitting pretty here. They're
in a can't miss.
Clark talk.
They are in a can't miss.
They actually have a hard decision because one of those guys is going to be there that they didn't think.
You just stole my point. I said, who's laughing at this? The Nationals.
Yeah.
I think they will actually run to the podium and pick Skeens because the comparison to Skeens is Strasburg.
Well, Rizzo loves pitching.
Well, I got a $5 bet with Q.
This is actually a
they won't run. They're going to pimp walk.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a $5 bet. I said if Cruz does not go 1, they're going to take Cruz over Skeens.
I don't think that.
I don't either.
Wow, I just got paid.
We'll see.
Rizzo drafted Scherzer in Arizona. He just loves pitching. I just don't see it.
I think they need some more bats in that system.
Well, they have their center fielder, James Wood.
You can move people around.
I agree. I'd rather have Langford. He's better.
I know you would.
I'm saying it unbiasedly as well.
No, it's fine. Nats are a tool of the organization. They like guys who actually take a while to get through, but usually have a high upside. So Max Clark's a guy who actually fits their mindset, but there's too many good guys in front of him for that.
I agree. So
it would make sense to have a short-term guy
and I'll tell you, started to dive into Clark and Jenkins.
He's good.
If this was a little weaker draft, I mean, these guys are no-brainers 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think they're just getting beat by the three superstars of college baseball.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just cut off the last time. We'll do it next because it's not a big deal. The college football.
Oh yeah, let's go golf.
You guys.
Let's get some
Nails. Why don't you take us away with the golf?
Oh,
I can. Do you want me to lead it in real quick? I can lead it in.
Go ahead.
Okay, John Deere this week. We had some good names last week. Jason did a really good job, man. That Chris Kirk.
Hopefully we weren't spelling them.
What's that?
A couple of them we couldn't spell them.
Well, hey, golf is hard, but I loved. Hey, I know I butcher some of these names, but we were on Kirk, man. I hit two. I hit two weeks ago on my card that I gave out. I did hit Troy Merritt top 20 plus 700 last week. And man, Jason had Kirk and I jumped on Kirk with him. Just missed the top 10 with a really nice number too. So this John Deere Classic, this is a par 71, 7,289 yards. It's a pretty easy course also on this. We're coming off the Rocket Mortgage last week. Last year, it was minus 21. Year before, minus 19. Then minus 21. I mean, we're in the hot 20s to win this. This is again if you can hit some straight shots off the tee box, and you can do some wedge, and you got to putt. It's a birdie fest again. You can do really well on this. JT Poston, I think last year was the one, minus 21 was the winner on this. So, Maddie, there's some information on us. Get us started. I already have my card in. Take us to the promised land.
So I just want to say I actually did well last week. I had Fowler to win, which was nice, even though I hammered Hadwin after round 1 to win and got a way better number than I did on Fowler. So I was a winner going in, but I was actually rooting for Hadwin. So either way, I came out on top. But you actually underestimated this course by saying it's easy. It's actually very easy. It's the second easiest course on the.
I had
PGA.
ninth. I had ninth easiest course. What I saw. So okay.
I saw second when I checked today. Two big stats is greens and regulation, and then putting is the other big one. They're going to have the greens pretty fast. They actually said they cut the rough down to 4 inches. So I don't think you have to be as straight off the tee as you think. So you can be a big hitter as long as you can and chip and putt. I think you're looking good. I'll give my DFS lineup real quick. My favorite to win is Denny McCarthy. I have Emiliano Grillo, Seamus Power, Lucas Glover, Joe Bramlett, Jason Duffner, Brian Stewart. My best bet, though, is a guy named Sam Stevens. He's a rookie. Top 30 is plus 163. Get him in your lineup.
All right. Jason, you want to go or you want me to go?
Well, I want to go first because I want to apologize to Ricky Fowler for thinking he was going to stink last week just because he's been so good over the last 6 weeks. Sorry about that, man, and wish I'd have got on there. And I also like to yell at Ludwig Aberg. I don't know what happened to you, dude. Apparently he found a really good bar on Friday night because he disappeared on the weekend. But, yeah, so I have just 2 smaller players. I got Patton Kazir. I'm going to take him as a top 20 and a top 30. And I'm going to take Ryan Moore, top 20, top 30. Both horses for courses here in Iowa. I'm trying to find somebody with an Iowa connection. It always seems like someone from that area does well in that tournament. So look further into that. And I might go back to Ludwig. I don't know. I don't know if he deserves it. He's clearly a talented guy, but he's probably figuring it out. Jason, what are you thinking?
Hey, Jay, real quick, Jason. Sam Stevens is from, that area. So he's a huge. Oh,
there you go.
He's just going to have a big crowd there. So, yeah, that's why I'm boosting Sam Stevens up. I hope he's listening.
Adam Schenk played at Purdue. 4 top 10s. Last 2 years here, 6th and 4th. I have him to win the tournament plus 3,000 and top 5 plus 650. That's who I'm going with here. Eric Cole, I like reading up on some information with him, plus 350, top 10. Top 20, Mark Hubbard. I like some of the stuff I saw with some stats with him. I got him at plus 250. And then this is my butcher name of the week here, but this guy's been playing well. Ches Ravi, am I right on that? Ravi, close?
Yeah, you were pretty good.
Okay, pretty good. That's okay, not bad. That's my best bet. I like how this guy's played a little bit. Looking at some stats, he is popping on some stats that I think is key in this. So plus 240, best bet, top 20 is my card. And I'm going to add one more. Because this way, so 2 weeks ago I played, Matt, you weren't on, or maybe you were on, I can't remember, and we played Morikawa and he was horrible, didn't make the cut.
Horrible.
And I said last week, man, maybe I should go back with him. Sometimes they really lay a stinker and then they come back and play well. Well, I did. I went with Matsuyama and he was horrible. So, and then of course, he was right there in the playoff. Kirk again. I like Kirk. I think I'm going to add one more to win, just to win, and I think it's going to be Kirk this week. So I'm going to have 2 guys to win, Shank and Kirk.
I'll piggyback Jason. Like a horse for the course and a good course history is Seamus Power from Ireland.
Yep. Yeah, I wrote him down. Last year, did not play, Matty. 8th in 2021, 61st in 2019, 16th in 2018.
Yep, he's done well there. It suits him, and he can bomb it off the tee. So if he can just putt above average, look out. And I might actually put a little money on him for first round lead.
I liked your play with is it Grillo? I had him down. Yeah. I didn't play him, but I like that. That's a good play. I think he was, if I believe, did I write it down on my notes? I believe he was 2nd last year in this tournament.
Sounds right.
I got nothing.
Well, this one has a little bit of better names in it because usually this is a week, like next week would be the British Open. Now this year it's 2 weeks, but I think next week it's the Scottish Open over there, and then it's the British. So some of the guys I think have they bolted to go over there a little bit and get some action in and everything. So, but a little, I think who's the favorite? Is it Cam Young is the favorite in this?
Denny McCarthy is.
Oh, okay.
I got Russ Henley as a favorite of DK.
I'll tell you,
wow.
I really liked Henley a lot. Henley, on a lot of the stats I looked at and read up, I just thought it was a short number, so I wanted to go in a different direction. But I think Henley's a good play, too.
He's played well here.
Yeah, last year, nothing. Didn't play 11th and 2nd.
Hey,
you took no run first inning. It's a winner.
There we go.
That's it. No run first inning.
Give out one more play?
Yeah, give a play.
Tennis. We got the Wimbledon going on.
All right. We'll catch you next time.
I'm not Smitty. Here we go. We got a name: Arena Sabalenka, women's.
It sounded good.
That sounds like a favorite pick there.
It sounded good to me.
She's plus 500. She's top 5 to win it all. So yeah.
Conditions have been bad over there, correct?
Yeah, bad rain.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow and Friday they're saying too.
And I know with this, back to golf, not to jump around really quick, but I think there's a chance of rain tonight into early morning, so they said it could soften up some things.
They'd love that.
Early.
I think they'd like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that. But yeah, we've been doing well. I mean, our golf stuff's starting to come around here a little bit, so
I like it.
Let's get some winners.
Well, I just gave you a winner if you took it. No run first inning, Cubs. Brewers.
Oh, nice.
Steele has 1 strikeout through 1 inning.
What'd you get that again tonight?
I think it was like minus 105, minus 110, something like that.
I was on that as well. Minus 124 for me.
There you go. That's a winner. That's how we do this show. I would have liked to steal. He had a guy 0-2 and then he got a ground out, but nevertheless, we win a bet. So we need 4.5. Well, we need 5 more Ks.
I didn't get on it because we were on the show. So, but I agree with you on the bet.
Well, hopefully we hit. We were going to cover Heisman quarterbacks. I say quarterbacks. They've hit 9 of 11. We were going to hit Heisman watch list if you had any futures on it, but we'll do that next show. It wasn't a concern. We really got into MLB, which I think was great. A lot of plays, a lot of analysis, the draft. So we'll cover that, and we'll start integrating more and more college football as we get closer, like we talked about last week, as well as NFL. There's really no huge news to report outside of that. So
this is the dead time.
Yeah. So a couple more weeks till spring training, training camp for the NFL. Spring practice or fall practice starts up in a few weeks for college kids. So that's really when it's going to ramp up, like end of July, early August. We'll start doing some coverages of some conferences. And then, yeah, go ahead, Matt.
No, I'm good.
Oh, I thought you raised your hand.
No, the only question I got to say is, did Jason put a play on July 1st? Did you get a play?
No, he didn't.
I didn't. I did my homework. I couldn't find anything, but I'll tell you what.
Guy's worthless.
Like I said, the one I was going to play, I still might play it, is I think Northwestern under. Whoa. What is going on in Evanston? They're spending all the money on the facilities.
Yeah.
He's not bringing anybody in. Like, they're awful.
Okay.
Who wants to go there?
I got to look at that. I'll look that up.
Yeah.
Really good school. It's in Chicago.
It's a good school. That's the problem.
If you're going to be a journalist or something.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap up the show. I don't have anything else. It doesn't seem like you guys do. And as we always leave the show, bang your bookie. I was sweating.
Thanks for listening to the Notebook Wagering Podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any episodes, and be sure to follow @Notebook Wagering. Until next time.